Jets, and then Rams and Chargers. I like. They're local. I root for them. And then I think the Niners are next. And I saw this video this week of Greg Olsen, the great Fox announcer, talking about Brock Purdy. And it got me thinking like, oh, man, this is some interesting insight. Let me look at the numbers. Here's Greg Olsen on 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy.
He told me last year, he said his magic wand, his secret weapon is he's the fastest processor I've ever been around. Sam Darnold told me the exact same thing. I've known Sam for a couple of years now. And for both of those guys, unpromptu, to say that, it speaks volumes, right? They're not just saying it to coach speak. I mean, we're just having a personal conversation, talking about Brock and what a great couple of years he's had. And they're just like his ability to process things quickly, eliminate the throws that aren't there, get through his progression to the throws that are there, what the coverage dictates, what the play call dictates, is a huge differentiator in this league, and he does that at a very high level.
High praise from the great Greg Olsen, who, by the way, I covered playing high school football in New Jersey. Olsen, he was a beast. So I said last season when I was caping up for Purdy and Cowherd kept leaving him off all his top 10 lists, I'm just telling you, Brock Purdy is a young being the key word, a young Tom Brady. You guys remember when Brady filled in for Bledsoe, it was like, oh, they got this game manager named Tom Brady, and he was a fast processor. He would make the plays. He would not screw up. He would lead you on the game-winning drives, and Tom Brady delivered. Tom Brady didn't become Tom Brady the GOAT until, maybe 10 years into his career. I believe it was the Randy Moss team where he had like 50 touchdown passes or whatever. And that's when the Tom Brady legend really started. And obviously the Super Bowl against the Seahawks with that amazing fourth quarter, like against the best defense in the league. That's when Tom Brady became Tom Brady. Brock Purdy now is a young Tom Brady. And I know guys aren't going to like it. I know this is going to be painful. But if you look at what Brock Purdy's accomplished in a short time, we got to see a little more than a season and a half, when he became the starter in late 2022. This is what he's done against the rest of the league. Number one in wins. Jason, wins are a quarterback stat. That's stupid. Don't count it. Fine. Toss it out. Completion percentage. He's accurate. I don't think I could say that. Passing touchdowns. Second in the NFL in this time frame. Passer rating first. And if you're like, Jason, fine, you're cherry picking stats, dude. You hate when people do that. Okay. I went to Pro Football Focus and I looked up some more advanced stats. You want to take a gander who was one of the best deep passing quarterbacks in the league last year that throws over 20 yards? It's Mr. Brock Purdy. 12 touchdowns, 1 pick. One of the 5 best quarterbacks on deep passes in the league. Okay, fine, deep passes, that's one stat. Okay, I got another one for you. Under pressure. Remember, my line stolen from Steven Jackson. I make love to pressure. Brock Purdy makes love to pressure. According to Pro Football Focus, he is top 5 in quarterbacks under pressure, 11 touchdowns, third most in the league. I can keep going. I will. Play action. You'll never believe who, according to Pro Football Focus, graded out as the number 1 play action quarterback in the NFL. Brock Purdy, 12 TD passes. Tied for the league lead with Josh Allen. So, yeah, I'm going there, guys. And I know what you're going to say. Well, it's easy to have play action when Christian McCaffrey's your running back. Okay. Well, McCaffrey played in Carolina. A, who was that quarterback? And B, how did he do in play action? Oh, well, Jay, it's the coaching. Okay, it's always an excuse when you guys want to go at Purdy. But I am telling you unequivocally, in the last, season and 3/4, not quite 2 full seasons, season and a half, whatever you want to call it, Brock Purdy starts. Since he's taken over as a starter, he's been statistically a top 5 quarterback. That is an inarguable fact. Okay, I know Lamar Jackson won the MVP. I get it. I like Lamar Jackson. Go ahead, put Brock Purdy's numbers passing against Lamar. Now, Lamar adds the running element, which changes the equation a little. But as a passer, it's Brock Purdy over Lamar Jackson. People don't want to hear that, but that's an inarguable fact when you look at the data. Yes, Patrick Mahomes is a better quarterback, more accomplished than Purdy. Yes, Josh Allen, more accomplished, better numbers. But then you start looking around and you're like, okay, Joe Burrow, well, he's had some injuries. Jalen Hurts, not as great last season. 2 years ago, phenomenal. Brock Purdy's been more consistent than Hurts. Dak Prescott, shockingly, people don't want to hear it, his numbers match up really favorably. But again, this is just the data. Do you trust it? I don't know. Tua Tagovailoa, obviously 2 years ago had the concussion issues, Last year, his numbers were off the charts. And this is where NFL comparisons get so difficult. Well, Jay, Tua, he's got Tyreek Hill and McDaniel calling the shots. Oh, okay, fine. We can play this game all freaking day, okay? Brock Purdy's numbers match up with the creme de la creme in the NFL. Now, you could say, oh, well, Patrick Mahomes has a better arm. Fine, okay. You can't, I don't know that you can really measure that. Like, can he throw a football further? Who gives a rip to steal a line from Cowherd? Can Josh Allen throw a football out of a stadium? Wonderful. I don't know how that translates to wins, but I'm just telling you guys, you can argue it, you can knock it. Brock Purdy's numbers say he is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. And, Alex, people just don't like when they get hit with the facts because what is it? What's the saying? The facts and feelings don't, I forget the saying. Facts don't care about your feelings. Thank you, Ryan. Again, I get it. You over here may like Trevor Lawrence. He has not been a better quarterback than Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy in his first 2 seasons, not even a full 2 seasons, got the Niners to the NFC Championship. He got injured. That's why I believe they did not move on.
Yeah.
And then next season to the Super Bowl where they lost to the Dynasty and Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. He's given you everything that he can.
Yeah.
Heavy on the run game. They also have a new offensive coordinator, Greg Roman, who used to be the Ravens offensive coordinator from 2019 to 2022. And they signed Gus Edwards, who was a running back for the Ravens, and J.K. Dobbins, who was also a running back for the Ravens. So you have to... There's been a lot of excuses for the Chargers over the years. Justin Herbert has had how many coaches? 5? 3 different head coaches in 4 seasons. Like it's been a lot. Last year they went 5-12, so you have to imagine that there's going to be at least a little bit of an improvement this season. But there's no excuse this year, right? You got the top new head coach that was on the market that's supposed to create a culture, be a game changer. They have a decent start schedule-wise to the season. They're versus the Raiders, at Panthers, at Steelers, versus Chiefs. So you hope you can at least pick up
3-1.
Yeah, pick up a couple wins before you face the Chiefs.
Coming out of the bye, Broncos, Cardinals, those are wins. Saints are not good. You said no excuses. You've seen Wedding Crashers, right?
Yeah.
Rule 76, no excuses. Play like a champion.
Yes.
That's what I expect from Harbaugh,
they have
Herbert, and, the poo-poo platter of receivers they've got.
But they're going to be heavy on the run game. That's what Harbaugh does.
Fine. They're going to basically be Ravens West, right?
Yes.
They've got a
now
Harbaugh.
they have their offensive coordinator.
And a Harbaugh coaching them. And then they got the 2 running backs. I think this is a good team. I think they're a surprise playoff team. I know the back end of the schedule gets a little tougher, but this is a favorable lineup for them schedule-wise.
It is.
I don't like the early bye, but...
I feel like there has been high expectations for Justin Herbert the moment he started playing in the league. And it's like, well, he hasn't had a consistent coach. There's always been, he hasn't gotten along with either with a head coach or offensive coordinator, whatever was happening. Now there is no excuse. There are no excuses. Like, get to work and prove that you are one of the top talents in this league.
Yeah. And by the way,
and
the
win.
baby blue Chargers color is like, not that besides me looking really good in baby blue, it's just one of the better jerseys and helmet combos in the league.
Well, it's also like UCLA vibes. It's very LA.
Yeah.
It's very LA.
Love it.
All right, on to the WNBA, where Caitlin Clark put up 15 points and 7 assists last night in the Fever's 89-77 loss to the Seattle Storm, despite leading rookies in scoring with 16.2 points per game. And Fever head coach Chrissy Sides wants the first overall pick to take more shots.
Caitlin Clark needs to shoot a minimum 15 shots a game for us. She's got to get shots. We've got to do a better job of setting her up and setting some really good screens for her to get her open. The way people guard her, it's tough because she's getting redded. So once the ball's out of her hands, she's setting the rest of our team up for some really great looks. She's getting some pretty good looks when she's off the ball, but we like her on the ball, so we just got to figure out how to manage the two.
She is the team. She's doing it all. She's also shooting and scoring. She's leading all rookies in points per game and assists per game. But you also have to wonder, is this kind of an out of respect thing because she is a rookie on the team? Is that she's trying to set up her teammates to succeed? But she's not a normal rookie, right? Yeah. She is the chosen one. she is the reason that the WNBA is at the level that it's at right now in terms of attention and media attention. She is the reason